The following stream has been approved for all puzzle audiences by the puzzle general community.
Hello everyone, this is Raceful M. Kun, and welcome back to Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, Puzzle General's Pokemon Puzzle Challenge Speedrun 2019. We already did the first match of the day, which was Yoshimitsu versus Paratroopa1. Yoshimitsu won 3-0. So that sets the first losers round match down in the bottom bracket of Paratroopa1 versus the Infinite Chain. That should be an interesting match, but the match we are about to bring you, and probably the second most compelling match of this tournament, maybe the most compelling, it depends on how the next match goes, but FFRPro21 versus CardsOfTheHeart. This match is going to be crazy. It's going to be hard for me to commentate. There's going to be a lot of crap happening. And this is one of the biggest rivalries, friendly rivalries in puzzle league history, as Cards has won the last two tournament final matches that they have played in the Tetris Attack tournaments of 2017 and 18. FFR Pro has won the Tetris Attack speedrunning tournament of 2016. So overall in finals, there are 2-1 favoring Cards, and that's who I would give the slight, and by slight I mean absolutely slight favorite of this match to. But I expect this match to be extremely compelling, and I hope you guys enjoy this match, because this is going to be something special to watch. So, without further ado, we should be starting shortly, and I hope you enjoy. They're gonna have to do a restart. So we're gonna do a restart of this first match because it got FFR wasn't quite ready. So we're gonna go ahead and quickly do a restart of this match, this first round. But like I said, this is going to be an extremely compelling match. I will try my best to notice things on both sides, but there's probably going to be stuff I'm going to miss. Please bear with me. This is probably where two commentators would be very helpful, one to focus on each side of the screen, but I'm going to do my best, and I hope you guys enjoy this match, because I am going to be a very curious onlooker and observer for this match, because this can go either way. Alright, everyone, first match is going to be starting shortly. As soon as we get confirmation, there we go. We're off. So, this is Pokemon Puzzle Challenge as opposed to Pokemon Puzzle League. And most other games, your opponent is a health bar, and you need to deplete that health bar as quickly as possible by doing chains and combos. As you can see here, both players are already starting to do combos with chains, and both are just going to demolish this. Both got 9 chains to start. Cards did get a 22-second start, whereas FFR is having a little bit of trouble. He's falling a little bit behind in this first round. As meanwhile, Cards is going to go ahead and start the Kakuna fights. So FFR got a 36-second. He's not going to be happy with that. Meanwhile, over on Card's side, he's starting to get chains and combos, combos with the chains, and that should be more than enough to finish with a 22-second time. Now, each opponent has a power meter. When that power meter fills is when they're able to attack or heal. Healing only happens when your opponent is at 40% or below, except on this difficulty, which we recently found out that they can heal pretty much whenever the hell they want. Anyways, we can see FFR finishing Kakuna at 30 seconds, which is a bit slower than Cards, giving Cards about a 3/4 stage advantage over FFR. FFR getting a 24-second on Clefairy. Meanwhile, FFR is starting chaining. What we're going to be looking for from both sides is we're looking for a nice frame perfect catch there. We're looking for leg chains, stagger chains, anything you can to basically get the opponent's HP down as quickly as possible. And you're seeing that on Card's side right now, getting a 10 chain, which is very, very, very good. And then he's just going to go and get an 8 chain, 8 combo, which should finish up. Meanwhile, FFR finishes Clefairy with 39 seconds, another time he's not going to be happy with. Times we're looking for 30 for top players. We're looking for times below 30 seconds in Super Hard on the first 8 opponents, and then we're looking for times below 35 seconds on the last 5 opponents, which is the Elite 4. Both players are playing out of their minds, and this is just going to be really, really close. 23-second Ghastly is going to help, but Cards finishes 25 seconds on Steelix, so it's still anyone's game. So one thing that we might see is when we start getting chains that are very close together, we might get the damage glitch where the higher number chain does not get counted because of improper damage rules. Looks like Cards stream froze for a little bit. Hopefully, he got that's very unfortunate for Cards. He got I don't know what happened there, but his console restarted, I think, which basically just allowed FFR to completely catch up. So now we're all square, and that's very unfortunate for that to happen to Cards. We'll have to figure out what happened with that, and we'll let you know as soon as we are able to. Meanwhile, we have very good stagger chains and leg chains from Cards, which is going to really 22-second Primate is amazing, and he really caught back up with FFR. So Primate is the opponent that starts closest to the maximum of their close to the maximum of their power gauge, so they're able to attack very, very quickly, and they're the only Pokemon that's able to do that. So right now, Cards has about a half stage advantage over FFRPro. And FFRPro not being as aggressive as he could be, he raised the stack a little bit too late, a little bit too delayed there, but Cards finishing seal with 34 seconds. He's a time he's not going to be that happy with. Meanwhile, Cards FFR should be able to might be able to capitalize on this and might be able to get some. Hopefully, be able to. He didn't capitalize on it too much, but that's all right. Meanwhile, over on Card side, we're seeing him just set up chain after chain. Nice 10 chain there, 11, and he's gonna end it there because that's gonna kill. 23-second Dragonair is very good. Meanwhile, we're seeing over on FFRPro's side, he's going for a 12 chain, might go for a 13 to kill. Personally, I think that might have been a little bit of overkill, but it does kill Dragonair very quickly, and 25 seconds, which is a very good time. Meanwhile, over on Card sides, we are now on the siren of the game, worst game in video game, worst sound in video game history, in my opinion. And he is making very good quick work of Jinx, and just a little bit short in HP, just needs one combo and that's going to do it. 33-second on Jinx, is not going to be too happy with that, because that's allowing FFR to catch up, and he is about a half stage behind. Good awareness from FFR to end the combo a bit early, but it still didn't do enough damage. That should do enough damage in 36 seconds on Jinx. Again, time he's not going to be too happy with. Meanwhile, Cards did drop the chain, his first chain early, which is unfortunate, and he drops another chain there, which does open the door for FFRPro to come back and possibly make a comeback. 31 seconds on Crobats for Cards. Let's see if FFR is able to capitalize on that. There's about a half stage lead for Cards. And looks like FFR also dropped the chain early. That's a mistake by Cards there. He dropped that chain. It's very uncharacteristic of him. Meanwhile, FFR just finishes up Crobat with 37 seconds. Again, he's not going to be happy with that time. Meanwhile, Cards is still dealing with the Pokemon with most HP in the game, which is Hitmontop, just finishing at 35 seconds. Again, not going to be happy with that time, but in a race situation, you're happy with any time you can get. Meanwhile, FFR is going to be just starting. Is about halfway through this Hitmontop, and now we're on to Murkrow on Card side. Murkrow is the Pokemon that has the shortest power gauge, meaning he's able to heal and or attack the most out of any Pokemon in the game. There must have been a heal on FFR's side because at 49 seconds he should have been dead by now. Meanwhile, on Card's side, should just finishing Murkrow bits at 36 seconds. He's not going to be happy with that time, but gosh, FFR just had a horrendous Hitmontop with a 1 minute 5 second time, and we're already onto the final stage for Cards, which is looking like this might be a nice frame perfect catch there by Cards to get an 8 chain. Just needs to get some more chains and combos, and nice. That might have been too close, and it might have incurred the damage glitch. Hopefully not, but that should be more than enough, and Cards is going to finish with a 949. Meanwhile, FFR is still on Murkrow. Murkrow must have healed because at 35 seconds, I would have imagined that he would have been much further. Oh, he just healed again. How unfortunate for FFRPro. That is really unfortunate considering what LC's had to go through earlier on in this week. Oh, the 0 HP glitch! Oh my god! So the 0 HP glitch is when the game rounds damage incorrectly and leaves them with just the barest amount of HP, and usually that leads them to a heal. That is super unfortunate for FFRPro. And another heal! Oh my god! You gotta be kidding me. 3 heals and a 0 HP glitch, that costs FFRPro a lot of time. Over a minute easily, and he's just gonna go ahead and quit that. I don't blame him. That was such bad luck. But that's just unfortunate on that side. So Cards wins round number 1 of this match, and we will see if FFRPro can rebound after that series of unfortunate events. Yep. So, second match is going to begin. Okay, so second match is going to be starting right about now. There we go. So, round 2. Hopefully FFR is able to recover from that series of unfortunate. That's just part of the game. You know, we do not know what causes a 0 HP damage or a 0 HP glitch, and it's something we don't know. Both players are starting aggressively, although both early, except for FFRPro, who got a 19-second Pidgey and gets the early lead on Cards. Cards finishing at 30 seconds. Meanwhile, FFR is on Kakuna, and being the earlier stages, they have the least amount of HP out of most of the Pokemon on the hard, which is what they're playing. Best of 5, first to 3 wins. The HP of all the opponents is going to be much greater than in hard. Although it looks like Cards is going to catch up. Both of them finishing Kakuna at the same time, so we are in a dead heat. 23 seconds for Kakuna on Cards is very fast. Meanwhile, FFR is not going to be happy with 33 seconds. Both players opting to flatten the stack, which is a tactic that a lot of players use because it tends to it gives you more panels to be able to work with. Because when you raise the stack, you're able to get more panels to work with. Alright, so looks like FFR is going to finish Clefairy about a second before Cards does. On to Ghastly. This is a more neck-and-neck match than I was expecting from the first match. We're just seeing stellar play from both now, and leg chains and stagger chains and combos and chains and everything. Miss that. FFR does miss that. Meanwhile, Cards doesn't miss anything and gets 21 seconds on Ghastly. Meanwhile, FFR finishes in 32 seconds, so I would give about a 5 to 10 second lead on Cards now. So, as you can see, both players are raising the stack all the way to the top. You want to do that to gain the most number of panels that you have, because the more panels you have, the easier you are able to, the more damage you're able to deal, quicker, etc. And the more panels you have to be able to do chains and combos. Right now, all you need is just a combo on Card's side, and he does finish in 28 seconds. But he does leave the door open for FFRPro to go ahead and possibly catch up. Although Cards is having a bit, FFR is having a bit of trouble here. I believe that was the 4, if I'm not mistaken. 37 seconds that he's not going to be happy with. Again, we're seeing some leg chains on Card's side, along with a bunch of other shenanigans with combos and chains. 10 chain 4 combo is very, very good, and finishing in 20 seconds primate, that is extraordinary time. Now, coming into this, both of them have, both of their PBs, I believe, are, I know Card's PB is a 919. No, that's in hard, I believe. No, it's a 919 in this difficulty. I do not know what FFRPro21's PB is, but I believe it's a mid 10 minute time, or a high 9 minute time. Meanwhile, so we about a about a stage advantage now for Cards, as he finishes Seal in 27 seconds. Meanwhile, looks like we had an early chain drop from FFRPro, which is rather unfortunate. But well, let's hope we can come back. He can come back from this. Looks like we're getting some nice leg chain work. Oh my god, perfect leg chaining there from Card. 31 second seal, but that leg chaining 13-4. That is absolutely insane play from Cards. Although he does leave a sliver of health, which costs him about 5 to 6 seconds. But that leg chain there, 13 chain 4 combo with it, is absolutely ridiculous. We're at a full stage lead for Cards now. Going into the siren of the game, Jinx. Again, Cards is just playing out of his mind now, and FFR is having difficulty with keeping his chain going. Still finishing with time, still very decent, but with if Cards keeps getting the times he is with 25 seconds on Jinx, that is just, I don't see, it's just going to be very hard for FFR to come back from this. Although, if anyone can do it, it's FFR. He can definitely come back from this. Looks like we're now on to Crobat. And yeah, Crobat is Cards does drop the chain and has to use Garbage, which is slower than doing that. And I think that was also a heal there from Crobat, which is very unfortunate as well, but that should be enough and that should kill. Just as, so they both finish 33 seconds for Crobat, 43 seconds for Jinx. So we're now a full stage advantage to Cards. So let's see what happens in this. Cards is getting off to a fast start, drops a chain there, which against the Pokemon with most HP can be problematic. Meanwhile, chaining, FFR having to chain off of Garbage, which is very slow, and I think there might have also been a heal there as well, if I wasn't mistaken. Both players having difficulty with their respective opponents. Both timers were identical until FFR finished Crobat, and now he's catching up now. 50 seconds on him on top for cards. He's not going to be happy with that time at all. And that has opened the door slightly for FFRPro to make up time. We're now on to Murkrow on card side, which is the Pokemon who can attack and heal the fastest out of any Pokemon in the entire game, and is usually the culprit for many a troll and many failed runs. Although it looks like Cards is just demolishing Murkrow right now. Meanwhile, looks like him on top is not being kind to FFR at all. Nice stagger 3, 4, 5 chain there. That's going to be helpful. And with Cards finishing Murkrow at 32 seconds, he's onto the final. Meanwhile, onto the final stage. Meanwhile, FFRPro finishing him on top at 49 seconds. We're at a stage lead, and let's see how we'll finish. We're seeing some nice leg chaining and other stuff there. That's absolutely amazing. Very, very well played by Cards there, and that was probably too close for it to count both because of the damage glitch. That's usually what happens, is when their chains are too close together, damage glitch occurs, and it only counts a low. But there we go. FFR Cards finishes with a 926, roughly. And let's see what FFRPro does. Getting that nice 8 chain there, getting a 2-3 chain right off the bat, getting a 7, and that's going to finish that Murkrow. Let's see if he decides to finish off this round or not. My guess is, concerning he's stopped, is he's probably going to forfeit since he stopped there. Okay, so he does go ahead and forfeit that, and that gives Cards a 2-0 lead now. So this will be the final, possibly might be the final round in this match. I just hope that FFRPro is able to come back, because I think if anyone can come back against Cards, I believe it's going to be FFRPro. Now, since I have a little bit of time, I'm going to go ahead and just confirm really quick. FFRPro's personal best is a 1024 on Super Hard, whereas Cards is a 919. So there is a discrepancy there. So, like I said, I think it's FFRPro Cards does have a good advantage. Now 2-0 lead. It's going to be hard for FFRPro to come back, but like I said, if anyone can, it's going to be him. Alright. So, match 3 is going to begin now. Or round 3 is going to begin now. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if FFRPro can get a win. Both players are starting off 3-9 there by Cards. Is pretty, and that frame perfect grab there is absolutely insane. Although he does drop the chain there, which does give the advantage slightly to FFRPro, and I think that should be enough. And they both finish at the same time, 1 second apart from each other. So both are going to go on to Kakuna. They're both choosing Chikorita because the default selected Pokemon, and to select any other Pokemon costs frames. And at this level of play, any frames are important. There was a bit of a lag chain there, but I assume that the damage glitch is most likely going to be invoked there, and only the 5 combo and 2 chain is going to be counted. Meanwhile, FFRPro is having a bit of trouble. He dropped the chain and is opening the door for Cards to take the lead, which he just did with a 25-second Kakuna fight. And there was also a heal by Kakuna on FFRPro's side. Meanwhile, over on Cards' side, Cards just going about his business, setting up chains and combos and staker chains there. Nice 7-6, 8-4, 9. Probably gonna set up for a 12. Maybe? Yeah, 12. Which is very hard to do against these opponents. Kudos to him for finishing Clefairy in 21 seconds. That's a very good time. Meanwhile, FFRPro did just about start this and start Clefairy, and we're seeing good chaining from him. But Cards just that little bit, doing just that little bit better at this point in time, and that 8-9 that's the beautiful chain combo there. Meanwhile, Clefairy is done, and we're on to Ghastly on that on FFR side, and now we just finished 21-second Ghastly on Card side. Again, I apologize if I'm all over the place, but this match is just one that there's stuff happening on both sides, and I just can't keep track of all of it at the same time. We're seeing some very nice chaining from Cards there. He does drop the chain, which does leave a bit of room for FFRPro to come back. That should be more than enough to finish Ghastly, and he does finish Ghastly. But Cards does manage to come back and strong and finish that Onyx down with 21 seconds. Sorry, Steelix. And actually, I think that was 24 seconds. My bad. Going ahead and flattening the stack again. Again, we do that so that we have more. Panels to work with. Again, those slag chains are just absolutely out of this world, and a 12 chain by FFRPro is absolutely insane. That 4 should finish. Oh my god, that heal! That last second heal! That is ridiculous. He's going to be really mad about that. Meanwhile, Primeape is done in 25 seconds on Card side, while Steelix is done in 35 seconds because that heal costs him about 10 seconds. The board awareness of these two players is just cannot be. It's just absolutely insane what they can see and do with the panels on this board. They're able to see stuff that us mere mortal players are not able to see. Both of these. Both of them have decent cursor speed, but the cursor speed advantage goes to FFRPro. He has faster cursor speed than Cards does, but Cards has, in my opinion, better board vision than FFRPro does. And we are now at a full stage advantage for Cards, so this is going to be very difficult for FFRPro to come back from. Again, I'm hoping he's able to, but with that mistake there by Cards, he might be able to. That was a very big mistake that could prove costly. But with a stage and a half advantage, it's going to be hard to come back from. And I think even that little bit of that little mistake there shouldn't cost him too much time. Still finishing Dragonair in 28 seconds. Meanwhile, FFR is just finishing up on the seal, and that should finish the seal there. And 29 seconds. Meanwhile, we're back to everyone's favorite character, which is Jinx. Worst sound in video game history, by the way. And Cards is just going to town, doing leg chains and other chains. Does drop the chain there, which is a bit early. If I haven't mentioned this before, these opponents have much more HP than they do on hard, which is the mode that we previously saw in the past couple of rounds, or past bunch of matches in this round. But so most of these rounds are going to take longer. Those steel blocks the steel garbage you saw at the end of the Jinx fight are called chalk block. They act as a separate type of garbage. When cleared, any garbage below clears just that garbage. Then you have to clear the chalk block or the steel garbage, and then anything above it is cleared. So it can be very detrimental if you know how to use them. Nice 4-4 chain into a 5-6-4 chain. And we are, it's about a stage and a half advantage for Cards now. As Cards finishes Crobat in 35 seconds, which is a somewhat slow time for the Elite Four. Meanwhile, Jinx is giving FFRPro all sorts of trouble. Yeah, he's triple steel block, steel garbage there, which is very unusual. Meanwhile, looks like him on top is also giving Cards some trouble, so FFR is able to catch up back from a 2-stage deficit to a 1.5-stage deficit. This could end up being with that chain drop there. That's also much more. That's really detrimental. And Buddy does go ahead and finish that him on top off in 49 seconds, which is very slow, a very slow time. Meanwhile, FFR is still on. Wow, that 3-4-5 chain there, really, really nice. But Cards is already on Murkrow, and that is about a stage and 3/4 lead for Cards. And I think it might be hard for FFR to come back from this. So, especially with FFRPro just starting him on top, I think this is going to be very difficult for him to come back from. Now we are seeing Cards having some trouble with Murkrow. There must have been a heal there because Murkrow should have been down by now in 48 seconds. He's getting very unlucky with the garbage, and Murkrow does go down in 49 seconds again. Another slow time he's not going to be happy with. We are on to the final stage for Cards, and meanwhile, FFRPro is still having trouble with this Hitmontop. We will see what happens with both very shortly. Premature drop there from Card. Probably not what he wanted to do because that is going to allow for FFRPro to catch up slightly, but I think as long as he dropped another chain there, so he is giving FFRPro a slight chance. And that heal on Dragonite, that is rather unfortunate. But I still think, especially with these combos there, and that might do it. Yeah, 10:02 time, and that will be that. We'll just go ahead and see if FFRPro goes ahead and forfeits or finishes the match. But that will be the end of this match. Cards does win 3-0. Again, we're just going to see if... yeah, so let's go ahead and keep watching FFRPro. Let's see how he finishes out this match. This gets off to a good start with nice chain 6, 7, 7 into an 8, into a 9. And that was very good start, and he's going to set up a 7 combo there. 2 chain, 3, 4, 4, 5. He's going to probably need a 6 or 7. I think an 8 or I think an 8, 9 is that's going to be overkill. And that's going to be that 11:31. So with that, CardsOfTheHeart does take this match 3-0, which is unexpected, slightly unexpected outcome in my opinion. I would have thought this would have been a much more compelling match, but again, that's how these matches turn out sometimes. Kudos to both, and thanks very much for watching this match. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do an interview with Cards. Welcome, Cards.
Hey guys, how's it going? Just thought I would pop in and give a few words to wrap up how that went, because that was weird.
Yeah. One question I have is, what happened in the middle? I believe it was round 1. It seemed like your console turned off.
Oh, it was just a freeze. It was one of those hard locks where all the graphics were stuck in place and the last note was playing indefinitely. It was just
Have you ever seen that before?
Not that one specifically. I have had instances using this Game Boy player where the game does stop being read and the software will tell you to turn the console off. But the way I use the Game Boy player here with this Game Boy interface, there's no software for me to tell me when something has gone wrong and it's time to turn off the console. So I just sat there for a good 5 seconds wondering what in the world happened.
Yeah, and that did allow FFR. He actually did catch up to the stage you were on, and you both started that stage at the same time. So he did catch up a full stage at that point. But one thing is, I did originally say that this was, I gave you a slight favor, but after looking at the PBs, I actually probably should have said you were probably the favorite. I just said slight just because of what FFR can do. Would you agree with that?
I would say that FFR has not really played this category all that much. I'm almost certain from watching his streams and watching his attempt counter on his splits that he has not played this much. So I thought his best time going in, which I think was a 10-10 or something like that,
10-12.
It
or
was
10-24. Sorry.
Oh, he's done a better one since. But in any case, that was a misleading time. Like, I knew that I was gonna have to step my game up a little bit.
Yeah.
More than that. If I was thinking if I could do sub 10 on a consistent basis every time, then I would have a real good shot of winning every race. And I honestly don't know what came over me. I mean, it seemed like after that freeze, and I still got sub 10 in that first race, there was a sudden calmness that came over me. I just stopped to thinking about the situation, just went with my own thing.
The interesting thing is, as soon as you came back from that freeze, you ended up getting 21 seconds on Primeape, I believe, which is absolutely ridiculous. And you actually ended up finishing. Still ended up just so overall. Just your thoughts on the match?
I was certainly okay with my performance. That's for sure. I pretty much did what I set out to do, and all my runs managed to cut FFR's best time. So I was gonna be happy with whatever result came from those times.
Are you surprised FFR Pro wasn't able to take a game from you?
I was a little disappointed that the disparity was so large that FFR would be compelled to forfeit, but I can certainly understand it based on how we were playing before. Like I was streaming some practice going into this weekend, and FFR was streaming some runs of his own, and you could just see the frustration on his face every time he would press his reset button.
And then I did mention earlier that with FFR Pro has had to endure some interesting setbacks when he was practicing. He had some very weird heals on the super hard opponents, and that actually happened in our first match, where we actually had a super hard opponent heal at about 55 to 60% HP when they're not supposed to be able to heal until below 40% HP. And that's something that we would greatly appreciate someone looking into, because it just seems to be on just the super hard difficulty, and we don't know what's causing it. Another thing that happened, just to make you aware of this, Cards, FFR had, was it this match? I can't remember if it was this match or last match, but I believe it was this match. FFR Pro had 3 heals and a 0 HP glitch on Murkrow.
Oh. The healing gets dangerous because if the game's trying to apply damage while a heal goes on, then that just only increases the odds of getting that 0 health glitch. And honestly, the only way around that is to just make a mid-sized chain. That's the only way I found to get out of it.
Yeah, and then just to let you know, the first 2 matches where he forfeited, both matches, I believe the first one he was on Murkrow, and he just forfeited probably because he was frustrated because of what happened. The second round of this match, he forfeited on Hitmontop, I believe.
Wow.
But I perfectly understand why he forfeited the first game, because of the triple heal right as he was killing, and then going into a 0 HP glitch into another heal. So it probably was, and that probably tilted him a little bit, I think. But so next up, I believe you're facing Yoshimitsu, right?
Oh yes, that is. If you thought any of the other matches previously were like the match to end all matches, just wait for me and Yoshi.
Yep.
We're gonna be playing on intense mode, and it is going to be nuts. I almost expect that match to go the full 5 games.
Yeah, and to give guys a little bit of a preview, Cards used to hold the world record, actually still holds the world record at a 14:07 or something like that.
14:29, I believe.
And Yoshimitsu has a 14:50 something. 57, I think.
57, yeah. I would actually say Yoshi's more consistent than I am, so it's going to really come down to who's executing better.
And the RNG. Yeah, so the next match is going to be the winners finals, and the winner of
our next match is that's going to be for 2 weeks from now. I have a big bonanza plan to wrap up the tournament, but our next round is actually our next round that we're doing next week is actually the losers round. So we did determine the last opponent to compete in those matches. So we will have Paratroopa 1 against the Infinite Chain, and both players came into this tournament unseeded, so they'll be looking to make a splash there. And then in the other side, it's FFRPro and Tayman, and man, you have to wonder if any frustration from this match is going to carry over to next week. But then again, Tayman is not that experienced in S-Heart either.
And he's not that experienced in Pokemon Puzzle Challenge in general. Just actually posting times on the leaderboard like a day before the tournament started. Something like that. Also, I believe the Infinite Chain was seeded because he did submit. Didn't he submit one time?
He did submit a time, but it was not approved. There was some issue with it. I think he actually started the video late, so I could not actually count it. But and both of those matches we're planning to start streaming them at 6 p.m. Eastern time on the 16th of November, I believe. Next Saturday, a week from tonight.
Yep, a week from tonight, and then after that we have the winners finals. And I believe we're also on that day we're also going to do the losers semifinals, right?
My plan, assuming that everyone's going to be around, and we're only going to have to coordinate like 4 people, so it may not be that hard. It's just we're just going to try and wrap up the rest of the tournament in one night. Every single round after the losers first round from here on out will be intense mode, and that is where the highest of high octane action is. So we're gonna go in a mad dash to get it all done in one day.
And the most infinite of chains.
I wonder if the Infinite Chain will actually have a better shot in intense mode, because he does favor his chains.
Although, unfortunately, the losers is the first losers bracket round is going to be S-Heart as well, and then all the other matches after is going to be on intense mode. So, but we have Yoshi versus. One big thing to mention is that the winner of Yoshi versus Cards is going to start the grand final with a 1-0 lead.
And that match is going to be a best of 7. So it'll be up to the winner of the losers bracket to win 4 races before the winners bracket winner wins 3. So that's going to be very compelling, especially if Yoshi and I were able to get a rematch there.
Yeah, and that's actually very possible given how this is set up. I'm projecting that if Yoshi, I'm projecting Yoshi to win the winners final. That's my projection, personal opinion. And then I'm projecting FFRPro21 versus Cards in the losers final. And then I'm projecting Cards and Yoshi to be in the grand final. That's my personal projection. I'm not sure if you agree with that, but I think it's possible that either way, it's going to be either Cards wins and then Yoshi goes through to the grand final with Cards, or the other. But not discounting FFRPro, I still think he has a chance in the losers final to, or if he does get to the losers final, to make it to the grand final as well. So, any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
I think that takes care of everything. You make sure you guys tune in to the first round of losers next week. there are two very compelling matchups in there, and I would not be surprised to see them go either way.
Yeah, especially the one I'm most looking forward to is Paratroopa versus the Infinite Chain. I think that one's probably going to be more competitive than the other one, than FFRPro versus Tayman, just because of how Tayman's inexperienced in this game. But again, anything can happen. But I think that's enough banter from us. We will go ahead and see you guys a week from today at around 6 p.m. Eastern time for those two matches, FFRPro and Tayman, and Paratroopa and the Infinite Chain. So we will see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and again,
Until
see you
next time,
guys.
everyone.